Our American friends, our friends of other nationalities who is coming here with Ukrainian community to celebrate this amazing date, to bring your best birthday wishes for Ukraine, to support Ukraine in fight against evil Russian Empire. And here today with Ukrainian community, our amazing speaker, Daria Ledesma, who will guide us through this rally dedicated to restoration of Ukraine's Independence Day. Please welcome Daria Ledesma.
Woohoo! Happy Independence Day, Ukraine! Woo! 35 years, dear friends, 35 years. All right, I will go through a quick agenda. We have a packed day today, and it will be slightly different than how we usually hold such rallies. We will, as always, start with the national anthem of Ukraine. Then we will celebrate Ukrainian independence, and we will go over some of the key facts in Ukrainian history. We will take a minute of silence to commemorate all of the fallen people, military, civilians, volunteers. And there will be music performed by Ukrainian artists who are on the way. There will be some musical breaks for all of us to celebrate Ukrainian culture. I also would like to give an opportunity to everyone who wants to share any stories or thoughts or wishes on Ukraine's birthday. Please let me know. You may raise your hand, you may come to me or Kate, and let us know during the music break that you wish to say a few words. In the second half of the rally, please stay around because we will have a little bit of fun. We will take a picture all together for the memory, and then we will post it on social media so more people know about the celebration and about our community coming together and remembering and celebrating Ukraine's holiday. I will also have some questions for you. I'm not going to let you know what those are, but be ready to participate. I want to see a high level of participation. We will also have a historical quiz to check how well you know Ukrainian history. And we will conclude with a poem by a great Ukrainian poet, Volodymyr Sosura. That's the agenda planned for today, so stay tuned for the next 2 hours. It will be interesting. I forgot to mention we will also call senators and representatives as we always do, because that's one of the most important things we can do as a community to help our country. Katya, are we ready for the national anthem?
I think so. Are you ready to sing for us?
I'm not singing.
You do, yes. Yes.
Ще не вмерла України ні слава, ні воля. Ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці. Запануєм і ми, браття, у своїй сторонці. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду. Слава Україні! Слава народу!
Смерть ворогам!
Україна! normally not what I do at rallies, but it was a great honor. Thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for trusting me with the national anthem. Just for everyone around who's passing by, today Ukrainian community, together with our American friends and people of different ethnicity backgrounds from different countries, we came together to celebrate Ukraine's Independence Day. It is August 24th that we celebrate every year, but today, Saturday, we always hold our rallies here on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and this is a great occasion to celebrate Ukraine's independence on this day. It's a great honor to be here. It's a great honor to stand here and remember all of the good things about Ukraine. Of course, we will talk about the war, and this is why we come here every Saturday. However, it will not be fair to our beautiful Ukraine if we were not to celebrate all of its achievements and remember some of the greatest pages in the Ukrainian history. Although we're celebrating the 35th anniversary of Ukraine's independence from Soviet Union, really from Russia, Ukraine is not a young country. Even though we say Ukraine is 35 years today, but 35 years since independence from Russian occupation. In fact, Ukraine is a lot older than 35 years. Its history spans over 1,600 years, 1,600 years. It's important to remember because Ukraine's history began before the Russian state even existed. And every time Putin and Kremlin propaganda start saying that Ukraine is part of Russia, this is just a blank lie. Lie and gaslighting. We all know that Ukraine is an old country. Its rulers led Ukraine through the hardest times, and we Ukrainians are proud ancestors of Sviatoslav the Brave, of Volodymyr the Great, the son of Sviatoslav, and Yaroslav the Wise, the son of Volodymyr. All these rulers have contributed greatly to Ukraine's prosperity in 9th, 10th, and 11th centuries. Kyiv, Ukraine's capital, was founded in 5th century, and the Ukraine's history was glorious for many centuries since then. We're forever grateful to Volodymyr the Great, who brought baptism. He baptized Ukrainians into Christianity. We're forever grateful to Yaroslav the Wise, who made education possible for Ukrainians, who built libraries. He married his sons and he married his daughters to kings in France and other Western capitals. He strengthened ties and posed a real rivalry to Western capitals. We carry the spirit of Cossack warriors, Ukrainians who became a powerful symbol of courage, freedom, and independence in 15th century. Cossack movement started with people rebelling against injustice, with people wanting freedom and people believing and fighting for dignity. The same spirit of Cossacks and courage live on in Ukrainians today, and we see it every day. Ukrainians have that same spirit, and they're bravely defending their homeland against brutal Russian aggression. Resilience and courage are woven into every part of our history and every aspect of Ukrainian life. We never settled for being just slaves or sheep or following. We've always fought, and it's amazing to me that through the centuries of hardship and being colonized by countries on the West, by Russia, throughout those histories, Ukrainians never gave up. They never give up on their fight And that's why we're able to celebrate independent Ukraine today. Because if our ancestors gave up, there would not be such a country as Ukraine. We would not be here. We would be somebody else, but not Ukrainians. As Ukrainians, we are very proud of our heritage, our culture, and our enduring fight for justice and freedom. Today, we're here to celebrate all of this, united in one word, one identity, and one country, Ukraine. Just something I really Ukraine deserves celebration. We mourn every day. We mourn loss of life. We mourn damage. We mourn injustice. We're outraged. We're filled with anger. But we're full of kindness. We help each other. We don't wish this horror on anyone else. And we are protecting the rest of the Europe today by shedding our own blood. And for that, we will take a minute of silence to remember all of those people who gave their lives in the sacred fight. Military people, volunteers, civilians, medics, paramedics, all of those Americans and people from other countries who didn't have to come, but they came to Ukraine and they fought. And some of them lost their lives for fighting that war that they didn't have to fight. Let's commemorate all of them today with a minute of silence. Thank you all. Again, today we're here to celebrate Ukraine's Independence Day, Day of Independence from Soviet Union, which happened in 1991. So let's dive a little bit into that. Independence Day of Ukraine is a state holiday celebrated on the 24th of August in commemoration of the Act of Declaration of Independence of Ukraine that was adopted on this day 35 years ago in 1991. Who was the author? Who knows? All right, that was a warm-up for later today, and this is not a good start. Levko Lukyanenko was the author, a Ukrainian politician, Soviet descendant, a hero of Ukraine. He was one of the founders of Ukrainian Helsinki Group in 1976. Dedicated to honor human rights in Ukraine, and he was elected a leader of the Ukrainian Helsinki Association in 1988. Who was the signatory of the declaration? A hint, he was first president of independent Ukraine. Kravchuk, that's right. Leonid Kravchuk was a Ukrainian politician and the first president of independent Ukraine. He was one of the signatories of the declaration. A big, big holiday for all of us since then. Let's just go through key events as we're celebrating 35 years of Ukraine's independence. Let's just see very quick look. We won't stop for a long time, but like what really happened? How did our country evolve? Soviet Union fell apart. Ukraine started figuring out what are we gonna do? How are we gonna live? Who we're gonna side with? Who are our allies? What our future will look like? Unfortunately, one of the biggest mistakes that was made at that time, and in my opinion, an advantage was taken of a young country that was just trying to figure itself out and its path. Budapest Memorandum happened, where Ukraine was forced to give up nuclear weapons in exchange for security guarantees. Had that not happened, I give it a 99% chance 2014 invasion nor 2022 full-scale invasion would have not happened. However, we can't judge history like that. We have to live in reality and just acknowledge that this happened, and we have to move on and figure things out, how we win this war in this situation. As we saw, security guarantees don't mean anything. When Ukraine called for help, backs were turned, saying, oh, that's a piece of paper, it doesn't mean anything. In 2004, Orange Revolution happened, where people rose to defend Ukraine's democracy and sovereignty. This was the first, maybe conscious act of Ukrainian civilians coming together and saying, hey, we want to side with Europe, we want democracy, we don't want authoritarian Ukraine. Revolution of Dignity happened 10 years later, where Ukrainian people rose against corrupt Kremlin puppet Viktor Yanukovych, and he was ousted. He had to get on his helicopter, he grabbed $3 billion in gold, and he just took off. Now he lives in Russia, and recently I read that he lives under a fake name, so probably afraid for his life still. Annexation of Crimea unfortunately happened almost immediately after Yanukovych fled. There was a vacuum of power, and Russia took advantage of that. Then they invaded Donbass a little bit later that year, in 2014. So when we talk about war, it's important, we always focus on the full-scale invasion since 2022, but it's always important to remember that the war actually started in 2014 and has been going on for 12 years now. Minsk agreements, as an attempt to stop Putin, only showed that Russia was incapable of peace. There are no agreements unless Russia is defeated on the battlefield. No paper will ever be honored by Russia unless they're so defeated that they have no other choice. And one of the key events that I also would like to acknowledge, and maybe it's not circulated as much, but Ukrainian churches received Thomas. What does it mean is Ukrainian churches received independence from Russian Patriarchy. A lot of Ukrainian churches were ruled under Moscow Patriarchy because we did not have our own authority for Ukrainian churches. It was really ridiculous, but in 2019 we finally got that blessing and that authority, and now Ukrainian Orthodox churches, they are governed on their own. And now we're getting closer to full-scale unprovoked invasion. Why did this happen? We all have our answers, right? We all can say that when you don't punish evil, it just goes further. Nobody truly punished Putin and Russia for their 2014 crimes. They got bold and they were like, look, nothing's really happening. What stops us from invading? Ukraine doesn't have nuclear weapons. Ukraine doesn't have missiles. Ukraine doesn't have pretty much anything. As we recall, the 2022 war started with Ukrainians barely having any weapons at all. Later on, we started getting HIMARS, we started getting Patriot system, we started getting more and more, we're developing drones. But the way how this war started, it was brutal. Nobody was giving Ukraine a chance. But now, 4.5 years later, on one hand, it's horrible. On the other hand, Ukraine, a lot smaller in size and population, is on par with Russia. As we can see today, Ukraine is causing a lot of damage to Russia, a lot. Russia is reluctant to admit how painful it is for them. They say like, oh yes, I'm nuisance, but it doesn't bother much. It does, it affects them. Destruction of wild berries, marketplace, warehouses, destruction of their oil refineries, that Russians are now scrambling for gasoline. All of this has an effect. Unfortunately, it's not as fast as we would like it to be. The war is brutal, and it's important that we continue to support our military, Ukrainian people. It's hard when you have to raise your children, you have to go to war, and at night you sit in bomb shelters. There is no break. You spend the whole night in a bomb shelter, next day you still have to go and you have to perform, because life doesn't stop. Ukraine doesn't have luxury to stop and take a break. This is the reality, harsh for everyone. Obviously for our military warriors, but civilians suffer much as well. They live in terror every day. And we've seen this, we've seen the month of July with Russian ballistic missile attacks, and Ukrainian military does not have anti-ballistic air defenses. Our Patriot systems are standing idle because we don't have Patriot missiles. We don't have anything to shoot down Russian ballistic missiles with. On this topic, I pulled some stats just to tell everyone what the losses have been. These are shocking numbers, and with no immediate sight of having this war being ended by end of this year or next year. Unfortunately, we don't know. Right now there are no signs that this death toll will stop and destruction will stop. Since February 24th, 2022, according to United Nations Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine, at least 16,431 civilians were killed, including 803 children. At least 48,613 civilians injured. 9 to 11 million estimated Ukrainian refugees in the world. 20,000 kidnapped Ukrainian children by Russia. Again, these are just the numbers by UN. These are the cases that they were able to identify and document. We all know that the real number is a lot higher than this. Just this year alone, 1,570 civilians killed and 9,094 people injured. Only in the month of July, the highest monthly civilian death toll since May 2022, this July, 437 civilians killed and 2,610 injured. And we all know that most of this falls on Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. Russia changed its tactics. It still terrorizes all of Ukraine, but they focus their efforts on Kyiv. They think that if they can take down Kyiv, the rest of Ukraine will just fold. The latest joint World Bank, Government of Ukraine, European Commission and UN assessment covering damage through December 31, 2025 estimates. 14% of Ukraine's housing stock had been damaged or destroyed. 14 out of 100 people lost their homes. I don't want to make it personal, but my aunt lost her home and my uncle, and they had to go to Denmark as refugees just a couple of months ago. My paternal house, my grandparents aren't alive, but my mom owns that house, completely destroyed. It's an area in Dnipropetrovsk region, and Russian drones and bombs just destroyed my childhood place where I spent summers. And there are so many stories. I'm sure if I give this microphone to you guys, you have a similar story to share at this point. Total direct physical damage from the full-scale war, think about this, now cost Ukraine $200 billion. That's how much Russia just owes Ukraine for all this damage. $200 billion, not speaking about reparations for people suffering. Housing, transport, and energy were the three most heavily affected sectors. The war is brutal, and every time we come here, we come because we don't give up and we want to fight, and that's what we need to do. We need to continue fighting. We need to continue donating, volunteering, calling senators and congressmen, talk to your neighbors, make posts on social media, spread the truth, debunk Russian propaganda. Think on your own what you can do. Coming here today is a big thing that each of you did. You made a decision to come and stand here today. This is so important. The impact of this is not just going to be for people passing by. It's going to be on Facebook, it's going to be on Instagram. A lot more people will see this. And if they see us fighting, they will help us as well. We don't have a right to give up. Thank you. Let's do a chant, our favorite. Stand with Ukraine! 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 Louder, people! Stand with Ukraine! 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 Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine!
Chant ideas do you guys have? What else should we chant? Slava ЗСУ! 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 Slava ЗСУ!
Слава ЗСУ!
What we just chanted was glory to Ukrainian military. All right, let's do one more and then I will check with Kate if we're ready for a music break. Which one is other favorite?
Москва впаде.
Москва впаде.
Полетіти українське сонце.
I love that one. We have a harsher one. Russia is a terrorist state. 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 Louder. Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
We need to do chants with passion or nobody will believe us. Russia is a terrorist state. 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 Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
As we're getting music break set up for you guys so you can take a break from all my speeches, I just wanted to say that, remind everybody, today we're here because we're celebrating Ukraine's 35th independence anniversary. Ukraine turns 35 this year. The actual day is on Monday, is August 24th, but we're here today. We don't mind celebrating Ukraine's independence a little earlier, so we have more time to celebrate. Tomorrow, August 23rd, is Ukraine's National Flag Day. These beautiful flags, blue and yellow. So nice, so vibrant. Make sure to celebrate National Ukraine's flag tomorrow. If you have a flag, put it outside your house. Put it up high, like Vitalik does right now. Put it up high over there so everyone can see. It's a beautiful, beautiful flag. special guests. Welcome, Tonya.
Thank you, guys. Well, first of all, we are all inviting you tomorrow to Georgetown to celebrate 35th anniversary of Ukraine independence. I hope to see you all. And this year we brought two very special guests all the way from Ukraine. It's Vadim Shvaluk and Yulia Hera. These are two guys that went through all the hardest fights right there on the front lines from Bakhmut to Pokrovsk. Vadim is the head of Kiev Court and Yuli is the head of assault group, and also he is the main instructor of the department. So please welcome them, come say hi.
Дякуємо! 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 Дякуємо!
So as you know, Liberty Ukraine has been working a lot with the court team, and I'm happy that you guys get to meet them, and tomorrow they will be speaking at our event, so make sure you are there at 5 because that's where we're gonna be having our slot. And thank you for everything you, as amazing community, I'm always bragging about you every time I visit the front lines and soldiers, so thank you for standing strong and together until the victory.
Соня, попроси, щоб вони стали сфоткаємося з командою. Сонь. Ну, ходіть, скажіть, що не.
We will take a picture all together, so everyone please scooch. Let's make it nice.
Так, на все, хочу вам всім подякувати за вашу підтримку, за вашу думку, яку ви всі тут, вона дуже важлива. Насправді війна в Україні страшна і самостійно її ніхто не може витягнути. Ваша підтримка для нас дуже важлива, тому що вся ваша праця дає тому, що ми могли купувати нові засоби і максимально нищити ворога там на нашій землі. Так що дякую вам всім.
Дякуємо!
Yeah, so he said, first of all, thank you all for your position and standing with Ukraine and doing everything in our power to support them, and because of this we are able to provide supplies for the unit. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Yuli Hera, he is a head of instructor and also commander of an assault group. Those guys been to quite few special operations, to say at least.
Ну, я скажу просто, ми вас чуємо, відчуваємо себе на території вашої підтримки, бачимо її постійно. І дякую за те, що ви поряд, знаходячись тут за океаном. Великого вам дякую.
Дякуємо.
Well, thank you for everything you guys do, and also they do feel the support even though you are on a different continent, so many thanks.
Сонь, попроси, щоб ми фото могли.
Let's all take a picture all together.
Можете тут стати?
Working so hard to make that event happen tomorrow that the number of tickets is very, very limited. So please hurry up if you haven't bought it. So while we're waiting for our wonderful musicians to be ready, let's maybe start with some questions. You see, Katya, good thing I put together a lot. Katya was worried we will need half a day to go through this. Once again, just to remind everyone, Ukrainian community and Americans are standing here today to celebrate Ukraine's Independence Day. 35 years since the collapse of Soviet Union and Ukraine regained its independence from Russia. We're celebrating this wonderful holiday. We remember all the beautiful chapters in Ukrainian history, and of course we're here to talk about the war and the brutality that Russia inflicts on Ukraine every single day. Please call your senators, call your congressmen. You have a powerful voice. Americans have a strong and mature democracy, and your politicians, legislators, they listen to you, they listen to us. Call your congressmen, call your senators, ask them for the support. Ask them to vote for the bill that maximizes Russian sanctions. Ask them to provide Ukraine with anti-ballistic air defense missiles and also provide Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles. We need to continue inflicting pain on Russia so they are forced to come to the negotiating table. First question for everyone. All right, first question. Who can tell me who thought that this war would continue this long? 4.5 years now. Can you raise your hands? Those people who thought that this war will continue for this long. 1, 2. 2 people, 3. 3 people knew. You guys maybe have some psychic abilities. 3 people out of our crowd knew that this war will continue for this long. I don't belong to those people. Like majority of you, I also thought that this insanity cannot continue for this long.
Well, Ukraine doesn't give up.
Ukraine doesn't give up, but by this point, I thought that this insanity, like in brutality, cannot sustain for years. When the war just started in February 2022, every week was passing by and everybody was like, well, this gotta stop soon because it's too insane. Look what's happening. Look how crazy things are. And here we are 4.5 years later, and things are only escalating. Russia's not falling. Russia, yes, we're inflicting pain, but they always seem to find way out of this. They always seem to find some other countries. They're scheming. Now they're partnering, they've been partnering for some time with North Korea, and North Korean missiles, ballistic missiles, are now killing Ukrainians as well, in addition to Russian missiles. For a long time, Iran have supplied drones. War is escalating. Ukraine's increasing attacks. Woo! Thank you. Ukraine's also escalating, increasing attacks and causing more and more damage to Russia. Did you believe? Who believed? Can I also please see hands? Who believed that NATO would have gotten involved with its military at some point by now? In other words, who believed that NATO would do more than just talking? We see Pierce, who was in the military. We see David. A disappointment. I would probably speak for many. I also thought that with such brutality we couldn't continue. Like our first year we were calling NATO close the sky, protect our airspace. They didn't do anything. There was a moment in 2023, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, where it was a question of take Ukraine into NATO, and they just said no. There was a boiling point and that all fell apart. And now the question is, does Ukraine even need NATO? We see Russian missiles and drones, like they're falling on Romanian territory, on Polish territory. Like, what does NATO really, what is their strategy? Like, what is going on? Because the alliance doesn't seem as strong as it used to be, or we thought it was. Again, I'm speaking for myself, curious to hear from all of you. David, what do you think about NATO?
Well, NATO is a self-protection organization, and they didn't want to wage aggressive war. But now that Russia is attacking and using alternative means to attack NATO, they're strengthening it. And they couldn't take Ukraine during an active war. So I think that Ukraine is needed in NATO because Ukraine has shown that they're the masters of drone warfare and modern warfare, and they've shown that in exercises with NATO. So I think they're learning a lesson.
Hopefully. Maybe we're just not seeing much, but we will see the results of that later, hopefully. Would you like to say a few words? Right, Vernon?
No, good.
You're good. Anybody else wants to weigh in? Did you guys anticipate NATO to take more active involvement in helping Ukraine?
I think NATO needs Ukraine more than Ukraine NATO at this point.
That's a good way to put it. That's true. Ukrainian warfare and the way how we do things and the drones and technology have evolved that now we are training instructors from NATO on some of those things.
Well, a team of 8 Ukrainian drone operators held down 2 U.S. battalions in their exercises in Northern Europe a couple of months ago. The U.S. Battalions could not even move without being struck.
That tells a lot.
They taught them a lesson.
Yes, definitely. If anybody wants to speak up, please come up front because I am limited with this wire over here. I can't really go all the way back. Next question. What do you think it would take for this war to end? With everything we've seen, like think about it.
Russia's total defeat. Total defeat of Russia.
What does it mean?
Putin out of power and their military smashed.
Military smash. How do we smash their military?
Exactly the way Ukraine is doing it. Destroying logistics, destroying fuel, destroying supplies, and terrorizing their troops.
We just need more, right? We need more missiles, we need more weapons for Russia to feel that destruction. Yes, little Ukrainian.
I think the answer is just a bit more support. Any support at all.
That's a good one. Yes, Ukraine, well said. Ukraine needs support for sure. Pierce?
Modern warfare only depends on public opinion, and the attacks on wild berries will change that.
Absolutely.
More and more amazing point from Pierce. Amazing. Russians will start putting pressure on their government when they start feeling in their pockets that something's going on. As long as Russian people live well, they're fed, they don't feel any shortage, they're not motivated to go and put pressure on Putin. And unfortunately, Russian people have a lot of tolerance. So for them, being poor is not really an issue.
Yes, I just want to add to that question, what it will take to end this war. First of all, the roots of this war are deep. They're much deeper than just single conflict between Ukraine and Russia. And with the world of globalization that is going on, this war will end when entire world will step in, because it's a battleground for entire world to deal with authoritarian, to deal with barbarism, to deal with the terrorists. And this war will end when entire world will step in, including more active role of United States, more active role of Europe. And I put my high hopes to the elections in November in the United States, who are citizens here. It's not presidential elections yet, but this election is crucial for the Congress and for the support of Ukraine. If November elections will change the seats in the Congress, it means Congress can continue support for Ukraine without President's consent. Meaning, this November you guys who are citizens can vote and put your voice to that Congress will renew support for Ukraine. That's one. Second, I wanted to add, speaking about how long is this war. This war didn't start in 2022. This war didn't even start in 2014. This misunderstanding between Russia and Ukraine was going on for centuries. And I want to bring a historical example. There was 100-year-old war between France and England. It was going for a century. And in the midst of this war, 17 years old girl, Joan of Arc, became first in the history commander-in-chief of entire country. It's a really historical fact. She was 17 years old and she was a girl. And first time she became a commander-in-chief in the country of France. And they defeated Englishmen back, and they brought the king back to the reigns, and the kingdom of France was renewed as a phoenix come out from ashes. Right now Ukraine, that's Joan of Arc in its entirety. Our entire country is young girl, 17, no, now it will be 36 years old, Joan of Arc, and every woman in Ukraine is a Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc that will bring this country to the victory, to prosperity, and to the freedom. And every man as well. We are in unity, we are Joan of Arc. And the youngest, and we're the bravest, and we're blessed with God. And God is on our side. And entire world will help.
Well said. A round of applause, please, for Tanya. Amazing historical fact. And just like Tanya, I always think of Ukraine as a woman as well. I don't know why. But yes, well said. Amazing historical parallel. We will win this war, and I think we're here because we believe that. If we didn't believe that, we wouldn't be here. We will win this war. But it's hard in the process, right? It's super hard to see all the damage. It's super hard to see lives lost, country being crippled, and the upcoming winter is on everyone's mind. Whether we're here, whether people are in Ukraine, we're all thinking about the upcoming winter, and we start preparing for that, right? People in Ukraine, last winter was brutal. We all know how it went. The next winter definitely will not be better, and a lot of science tells us it will be worse. Ukrainian electrical power grid and infrastructure is so damaged by Russian missile attacks after 4.5 years of constant attacks on civilian infrastructure that it is pretty scary how are we gonna go through that. And as you know, Ukraine goes through long winters. It becomes cold at end of October and it lasts through middle of April. So again, please do what you can. Support your loved ones, support your family, support Ukrainians, donate to military, donate to non-profits you trust. And last question, and hopefully our wonderful musicians are ready to entertain and celebrate Ukraine's independence with us. Aside from donating money, what can we do as a community? Again, aside from donating money, what do you all think? What can we do as a community? What has been working that we've been doing? What else can we try? Pierce?
Help each other. Help each other.
Can you elaborate?
Every Ukrainian that is here moved from Ukraine to be here. Everybody started new. Everybody deserves to have help at some point. We're here to help each other.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pierce.
Next sitting. Okay. 30 seconds.
Thank you, Pierce. Thank you. Well said. Albina, do you want to say a few words? Sorry to call out. No. Okay. Sorry, I don't like doing that. Apologies. Who else wants to say something? What else is the community? Katya, can you come up?
Yeah, you can start simple. Speak Ukrainian. As a Ukrainian community, don't speak Russian. Read Ukrainian literature, Ukrainian books. Talk at work about Ukraine. Tell your managers what is going on in Ukraine. And I don't know, that's it probably. Yeah, just every small steps count.
Very well said, Katya. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Even small steps matter so much. Even a casual conversation with your coworker goes so far. Actually, Katya reminded me the other day I was on Slack with my American coworker. He lives in Chicago. Absolutely no ties in Ukraine. And we start talking about some work-related stuff, and he writes to me with English letters, but he writes to me "Дуже дякую." And I'm like, wait a minute, David, how do you know the words? Then he told me he has a Ukrainian friend who's from Kharkiv, and we started talking, and the way how he talked about Russia, he told me he would celebrate so hard when the Crimea bridge goes down, and he wishes to see Russia fall apart. It warmed my day and my heart, and it was so unexpected. I totally didn't see that coming, and my colleague ended up being such a devoted Ukrainian supporter who donated to buy drones with his Lithuanian friend. I found out so much just through something super casual. I'm sure all of you have co-workers that you don't know that are probably doing something like that. And when you talk, you support each other, just like Pierce said, support each other. Now he knows he has a friend in me to talk about it, and this will motivate him, and it motivates me to keep going. Simple examples like this. Yes, David?
Something else. There are thousands upon thousands of Americans and Canadians in the Midwest, around Chicago, Manitoba, Ontario, that are ethnic Ukrainians. They came during huge migrations to the prairies in the United States and Canada. My grandparents came to Canada in 1911. Ukrainian communities all over the place. It's an untapped resource.
Absolutely. I'm not aware of his particular ties, but you're absolutely right. That area, and that's what helps us, right? Calling senators, congressmen, writing letters to the White House, writing letters to your congressmen, senators, whatever we can do, going on trips to Washington, D.C. as part of the community to advocate for Ukraine on the Capitol Hill. Use your voice, use your power, don't neglect it. Talk to your coworkers, share on social media. Pictures from this protest, share, share, share. Tell your neighbors. With that,
thank you, Dasha. And today, as usually, I'm gonna perform some of my music. You know, some people invite me to perform, and they know I'm Ukrainian. And they ask me, would you play something Ukrainian? And I say, oh my God, this is my music, and this is Ukrainian music. And they're, oh, really? So, few composition of mine today for you to enjoy this morning, this day, and celebrating Independence Day today together. Thank you.
thank you, Alex. A round of applause.
Thank you.
Dear friends, it was Alex Sedin. Please, a round of applause to our talented Alex in our community. Alex has his own Instagram and Facebook page. Please sign up. He writes music all the time. He also has concerts. I had a pleasure of attending his concerts. It's always such a wonderful and magical time, and you just sit in there and you drown in a good way. You melt in his music and you forget about the reality, so you feel rejuvenated and spiritually uplifted. Thank you so much, Alex, for your work.
Thank you, Daria. And Daria mentioned my performances, and actually I'm preparing my new program, The Four Seasons. It will take place, as usual, at the Piano Gallery on 10th of October. And you're welcome to join my music on that beautiful place. We'll be glad to see you there. Thank you.
Where can people find the information where it will be? Will it be on our Austin Tex Ukrainian group? Okay.
Of course, it's already on my Facebook account, Instagram, like everywhere on social media, so tickets already available.
Tickets already available. Wonderful. And those of you who haven't joined Austin TX Ukrainian's Facebook group, please do so. You will find all of the information about our community, our efforts in helping Ukraine in this brutal war that Russia started. We also have a lot of people, our group multiplied by so much. We started with 1,600 members in 2022. Now we have close to 9,000. A lot of them are Americans who support Ukraine. Before we welcome Alexander Pavlik, our next special guest, quick question: whose first time is this here today at our rally? Can you raise a hand who hasn't been here before? All right. Do you mind introducing yourself? Sorry to call you out. We would like to meet you and to greet you.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Ola Mindyuk. We're visiting from Chicago. Happy to be here.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's your mom. That's mom of our wonderful and grandma of our wonderful volunteer, Hanna Mindyuk. Wonderful. Well, welcome, and we're happy you're here. Anybody else here for the first time? All right. Well, anyway, please make sure to spread the word and let your friends know that Ukrainians are here at 11 a.m. every Saturday. Every Saturday we come here with our flags and our posters in support of Ukraine and against Russian brutality. We're here 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday in front of the Capitol, right on this spot. Please come, please support, show your support, show pictures. Thank you for honking, thank you for your support, dear friends. Quick reminder, we are here to celebrate Ukraine's Independence Day. Ukraine celebrates its 35th independence from Soviet Union on August 24th. Tomorrow is Ukraine's National Flag Day. If you have a Ukrainian flag at home, be sure to put it outside and show your neighbors and express your support for Ukraine. Taking advantage of this brief pause, thank you so much, thank you for your support. We will, as usual, we now have a tradition from this rally. We call our senators and our representatives, and we ask them to support Ukraine. So for the next couple minutes, while Alexander is doing his final preparations, we're going to call two offices. Office of Senator Ted Cruz, Office of Senator John Cornyn, and representative of many of us here, John Carter from 31st District. Just give me a moment. My phone refuses to pull up the contact information.
Все, я знайшла.
All right, here we go.
Hello, this is Senator John Cornyn. Thanks for calling my Washington, D.C. office. For general information regarding my office locations and operating hours, please press 1. To leave a comment regarding current issues of interest, please press 2.
Раз, два, три. Раз, два, три, четыре. Раз, два, три. Раз, два, три, четыре.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Senator Cornyn. Thank you for your support of Ukraine. I am here with the Ukrainian and American community of Austin. We're celebrating Ukraine's 35th anniversary of independence from Soviet Union, and we would like to ask for your continued support in providing Ukraine with vital help to defeat Russia. You've been a vocal voice and expressed support for Ukraine throughout this entire brutal invasion. We count on your voice. Please help Ukraine on this wonderful day. Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine!
I have around 30 to 40 people with me. Thank you, Senator Cornyn. Have a great day. And that's how easy it is, dear friends. A quick 1-minute phone call and you can leave a message. Senator Cruz next.
Thank you for calling my Washington, D.C. office. It is an honor and privilege to serve the great state of Texas as your United States Senator, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your comments. To leave a message for me about current issues or legislation, please press 1. Information regarding Thank you so much for your thoughts and concerns about the important issues facing our nation. Please leave me a message and include your name, your city of residence, and your email address. Thank you.
Hello, Senator Cruz. My name is Darya Ledesma. I'm a resident of Leander. I am here at the Capitol with around 30 to 40 people, Ukrainians and Americans, from the community that's supporting Ukraine. We are here celebrating Ukraine's 35th anniversary of independence from Soviet Union. We would like to thank you for your support of Ukraine, and we call on your help to continue be a vocal member of Senate on the Capitol Hill. Please support Ukraine. Ukraine needs anti-ballistic air defense missiles. Ukraine needs more support in order to defeat Russia.
Stand with Ukraine! 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 Stand with Ukraine!
Thank you, dear Senator Cruz. Have a great day. And very quickly, last one before we have another wonderful performance. We're going to call John Carter. He's a representative of the 31st District. Many of us live there. It's Georgetown, Leander, and part of Cedar Park.
Thank you for calling the office of Representative John Carter, Texas's 33rd Congressional District. We're unable to answer your phone right now, but absolutely want to get back to you in response to your concerns. Please leave a brief message and please include your name, address, phone number, and email address so we can respond to you in a timely manner. Thanks again for contacting our office. We look forward to responding to you.
Carter. This is Darya Ledesma, my constituent from District 31st. I live in Leander, and here I am with the Ukrainian and American community here by the steps of Texas Capitol. We're celebrating Ukraine's Independence Day. It's 35 years today of Ukraine being free from Russia and Soviet Union. And on this day, we ask you for your support. Thank you for always standing and supporting Ukraine and for voting in Congress in support of Ukrainian aid. We also ask you to please support the sanctions on Russia. We ask you to support providing Ukraine with anti-ballistic air defense missiles and other ammunitions and weapons to have help Ukraine defeat Russia. I'm here with about 30 to 40 people, and we all have a message.
Stand with Ukraine! 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 Stand with Ukraine!
Thank you so much, Representative Carter. Have a great day. And that's that. Very, very important. Once a day, once a week, if you call, if you have it as a habit, that makes a difference. Thank you so much, and let's welcome Alexander Pavlik. Please, a round of applause.
Слава Україні! Дякую, друзі. Всіх хочу привітати, всю громаду хочу привітати з великим Днем Незалежності. Друзі, я сьогодні приїхав сюди не один, я сьогодні приїхав з нашою вокалісткою, з артистом Rock Garage. Кетрін Креймер сьогодні заспіває разом зі мною. І, до речі, я також хочу завтра запросити на великий український івент, де буде дуже багато цікавого, гарний концерт і спілкування. Отже, Катюня, привітайся, будь ласка.
Hello everyone. I'm really excited to be here performing for you. Happy Independence Day, and let's start with a prayer for Ukraine. Молитва за Україну.
Життя за людей віддав, книгу життя нас записав в своєму слові живому. Ти для життя веління, щоб люди всі молились тому, хто на хресті за них вмирав. Боже, я молюсь за Україну, Боже, молю тебе за людей, ти їх прости, ти їх спаси, і милість свою нам яви. Боже, я знаю, що ти будеш з нами в храмі своєму, ти написав би радісті ми, ти дарував життя за людей, віддав книгу життя. Нас записав. Боже, я молюсь за Україну, Боже, молю тебе за людей, ти їх прости, ти їх спаси, і милість свою нам яви. Боже, я знаю, що ти будеш з нами в храмі своєму, ти написав би радісті ми, ти дарував життя за людей, віддав книгу життя. Нас записав. Боже, я молюсь за Україну, Боже, молю тебе за людей, ти їх прости, ти їх спаси, і милість свою нам яви. Боже, я знаю, що ти будеш з нами в храмі своєму, під небесами радісті ми, ти дарував життя за людей, віддав книгу життя. Нас записав, нас записав. Thank you, everybody.
Кетрін Кремер! Браво, Катюнечка! Браво. Зараз поки тобі дадуть водички попити, да? Не хвилюйся, все добре. Іди до мікрофончика. Давай разом поспіваємо, добре? Зачепився місяць за вербову гілку, з чистого джерельця вечір воду п'є, а в бусковій тиші голос перепілки до любові кличе, що у серці є. Я землі цієї паросток зелений, я цієї висі крапля дощова. Заплились у мене, приросли до мене жито і дерева, квіти і трава. Ні для мене щастя іншого не треба, хоч була тривога, очі опече. Лиш би рідний колос, лиш би рідне небо опускали руки на моє плече. Ні для мене щастя іншого не треба, хоч була тривога, очі опече. Лиш би рідний колос, лиш би рідне небо опускали руки на моє плече. Лиш би рідний колос, лиш би рідне небо опускали руки на моє плече. Щастя іншого не треба, хоч була тривога, очі опече. Лиш би рідний колос, лиш би рідне небо опускали руки на моє плече. Ні для мене щастя іншого не треба, хоч була тривога, очі опече. Лиш би рідний колос, лиш би рідне небо опускали руки на моє плече. Дякую, друзі! Ну а далі для всіх українських фантастичних жінок.
Пощастило, ти знаєш, як це мати крила, а тепер ти знаєш, як можна любити сміливо, як тобі пощастило, бо такі, як вона. немає близька, від нормами палає, гаряче як мрія, нескрівна як стихія. Бо тебе кохає фантастична жінка, і ніхто крім тебе не потрібен їй. Бо тебе кохає фантастична жінка, ти її натхнення, і володар мрій. Бо тебе кохає фантастична жінка, і ніхто крім тебе не потрібен їй. Бо тебе кохає фантастична жінка, і її натхнення, і володар мрій. Бо тебе кохає фантастична жінка, і ніхто крім тебе не потрібен їй. Бо тебе кохає фантастична жінка, і її натхнення, і володар мрій. Дякую!
Стій, залишайся тут. Давай.
Зорепадом летять роки, у минуле, у віки. Шлях, що пройдено, не пройдеш, що минуле не вернеш. Тільки пісня нам зупинить час, що так біжить від нас. Тільки пісня нам поверне знов нашу юність і любов. Нам давно будувати мости у незнані світи, і додому, де вірно ждуть довгих років, довгих путь. Тільки пісня у чужім краю здолає свої. І кохану нагадати твою, і далекий твій поріг.
Дякую.
Друзі, і наостанок хотілося б розказати вам невеличку українську казочку. Класно, я дуже люблю цю пісню, правдиву дуже пісню. Я дуже поважаю цю пісню, я дуже поважаю цих хлопаків, які написали цю пісню. Олександр Фозі, мій близький друг. І сьогодні, чому я вибрав цю пісню на сьогоднішній день? Для того, щоб ви з нами змогли заспівати приспів, окей? Я чув, я бачив, як ви кричите голосно, тому я знаю і впевнений, що ви також можете співати разом з нами, щоб всі проїжджали і в машинах чули. І чула вся Америка, і чули нас в Україні. Окей, домовились? Друзі, Катюня, як приспів співається? Які слова? Що б там не було, як там не було, все одно добро. Це буде версія Каті Вайнової. Закопає зло або закохає зло. Тобто буде в нас такий ремікс. Окей, Катюнечка, починай сказочку.
Окей. У 37 царств і за 39 земель. Двері з петель, он чуєш, позлітали. Погані люди, вас не завітали. Попалили, посварили, коротше погуляли, всяко розважалися. Піднімали пил, аж поки не з'явився голова сил. Я іще не вигадав, де він був раніше. Може собі спав, поки панувала тиша. Може біля річки царапав натюрморти. І тут почув, як лаються незнайомі лорди. А лорди повтікали, вони завжди тікають, одразу забуваючи про простих людей. Гукнув Вася першого, гукнув Вася другого, гукнув головного, решти і тікать. Настигнав останнього, сплюшив йому голову, підібрав мольберта і далі малювать, вать!
Отут можна всі разом, Катя!
Щоб там не було, якби не було, все одно добро закохає зло. Щоб там не було, якби не було, все одно добро закохає зло.
Далі, Катя!
А друг казочка про те, як Васін друг зненацька закохався у одну премудру, всіляко залицявся, дарував їй пудру, але вона премудра за нього не йшла. І попросив той кореш: Васю, далі ж мореш, не міг би ти, друзяко, сплавати туди. І всяко різномодне, яскраве надброне, коротше, усе і одне привези сюди. Вася каже: добре, і поплати сонця, туди, де всі японці, дракони і коти. І гати, лохи конохати, всіляко намагалися перейти на ти. Гупало Василь, побіг усі, за людську любов, за дитячий сміх. Привіз усе красиве, швидко одружив їх і намалював всіх на нам.
Готові? Всі разом!
Щоб там не було, якби не було, все одно добро закопає зло. Щоб там не було, якби не було, все одно добро закохає зло. А то чого після того ще й з ним було? Скрізь Василь всіх губах нахиляв зло. А потім каже: шановні, я бачу всі безодні, а я тут почув: війни ваші, не ваші, гроші ваші, не ваші. Я краще співатиму гучно про те, як усе це було.
Громада, всі разом! Що там не було? Ще раз!
Що там не було, як би не було, все одно добро закохає зло.
Щоб там не було, як би не було, все одно добро закохає зло. Щоб там не було, як би не було, все одно добро закохає зло.
Все одно добро і закопає, і закохає зло. Слава Україні! З Днем Незалежності! Дякую, друзі, гарного дня! Чекаємо завтра всіх на класний великий український івент. До завтра!
Дуже дякую, ще раз оплески, друзі, Олександр і Катруся.
Катруся, тобі область.
Щедрі оплески, друзі. Ми вже дуже близькі до завершення нашого ралі, але я ще планую зробити історичний квіз. Історичні питання, як я і планувала, тому не розслаблюємося. We are gonna go through a very quick, I promise, very brief quiz on Ukrainian history before everybody leaves. So please stay. Just very briefly, we are here on this day to celebrate Ukraine's Independence Day. Ukraine is turning 35 years old of independence from Soviet Union. In 1991, when Soviet Union collapsed, Ukraine finally got its sovereignty. Not to speak that Ukraine is a young country. Ukrainian history spans over the past 1600 years. But we are here particularly to celebrate Ukraine being free and sovereign from Soviet Union. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to our singers and performers. And before we leave, just very, very quickly, some of the things that I wanted to check in with you guys. So, let me go with these.